What's your thoughts on doing something that you're passionate about versus something that you're really good at doing? Because you could be really, really good at doing something, but you maybe don't enjoy it that much. But if you execute it and continue with that thing that you're really good at, it could obviously lead to something pretty great or make you a lot of money.
I don't see many people good at something they don't like.
Yeah.
Because they've had to practice at it to get good at it. There's nothing comes instant. No, unless you, Tiger Woods or Federer, these guys are practicing all the time. They're naturally talented at it. But, I mean, I don't know, I've always loved sales. Now it's called marketing because it sounds cooler. But I've always loved that, like how to sell something, how to bring people on board in your company, how to get an investor excited about your business, or like bringing building a tribe. That's how I see sales, like building a community. Yeah, I love that.
How old are you when you discovered that you liked that?
Day I knocked on that door at 15.
Really?
Yeah, because I'd never done sales in my life. I didn't know I could sell. I don't think anyone realizes everyone can sell. My best salesperson in my last company was my accountant, right? Mm-hmm. Anyone can sell. But I knocked on that door and I was desperate. And I basically said, I'll take care of your garden. Would you pay me to do it? And he said, sure, how much? And I said, I just picked a number. I said, £200 a month? And he said, sure. It's like the euphoria of like having an idea in your head and then turning it into money. Like, this is brilliant. Mm-hmm. Like, why wasn't I taught this at school? I was 13 years in school at that point, and I didn't know anything. Like, a little bit of biology, a little bit of Second World War history. No one had taught me about this thing, that you can make it real, this in your head. You turn it into money. I have a funny relationship with money, but it turned into money in that moment, right? Which is just energy. Mm. It's like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is the revelation to me. And from that moment onwards, I was like, I knocked on the next door and they told me to fuck off, right? So luckily, the first door, and I think luck plays a huge part in anyone's life. Yeah. Luckily, the first person said yes. And I felt that like, oh my God, I can get myself out of the shit that I'm in. I can get myself out of it. Anyone listening right now who's in financial trouble, you can get yourself out of it. It's possible.
Do you ever think what you would have done if you had like 20 back-to-back rejections? Right,
I think that day, it was a Saturday, I remember it like it was yesterday, I knocked on over 100 doors that day, and I got 11 people to say yes to me being their gardener. Now I realise that was a fucking high hit rate. Yeah. I should have got 1, 2, right? So something happened that day. Mm-hmm. There's a fate. I don't know what it was. It was meant to happen. I got so lucky. Mm-hmm. I was so lucky I was homeless. I was so lucky I was kicked out. I was like, Jesus Christ, I've just learned something that's game changing.
That's absolutely wild for 15 years old.
I thought I was mature as well. I was 15 years old, I thought I knew it all.
Well, I think when you lose a parent, you instantly become extremely mature, whether you like it or not.
Well, yeah, also I had 3 brothers. I think I grew up in quite an intense and quite intellectual family. Mm-hmm. So you sharpen up early because otherwise you get picked on. Yeah. Basically, like you learn to stand up for yourself quite young. I mean, that's the benefit, I guess, of having older brothers, younger brothers. Like you fight all the time. Mm-hmm. And I felt at 15 years old, I know now I was a kid, but I didn't think I was a kid back then. I thought I'm ready for this. Mm-hmm. And if you think back on history, we're dying at 30. 15 years old is like midlife. Yeah. You get married at 15. I'm not saying we should do that again, but I'm like conceptually I fucking needed that. I needed to go there and hunt. I needed to leave my home and hunt. I was forced to do it. But actually at 15 years old, I was like, right, I'm a warrior. Let's go. Let's go. Let's learn the skills to hunt. And how are you going to do it? You're not going to read how to hunt from a textbook, are you? Pick the javelin up and throw it. No, you got to fucking do it. Yeah. Right? You got to get in there and face the lion, look at it and go, this thing can kill me. How am I going to survive? An analogy equivalent is a gardening company came along and tried to kill me. Right? Another company that tried to take the business I just won. Right, and they had fancy equipment and brochure and all the cool stuff. I beat them. I beat the lion. Mm-hmm. Right, and once you beat a lion, you're a man. You know what I mean? His history is the same. History tells you the future. That's basically the modern day equivalent. I'm hunting. It's natural. I'm meant to get up every day and leave that cave and hunt. We're not meant to sit in the cave and someone bring us a fish every day. And then one day we're like, can I have another fish, please? Do you mind a pay rise? Do you mind if I have a pay rise? And you're like, no, 3 months' time we'll do a 360 review. No, I need more fish. I've just had a baby in the cave. No. And then you're scared to leave the cave because you don't know how to fish. You're like, oh, I better just do what they say and sit here and wait for them to give me a pay rise. Fuck that, right? You leave the cave and go and fish. It's fun. It'll be raining and cold. You'll be with your mates. You'll have a laugh. It's meant to be out there doing shit. Whether that's, and by the way, in case anyone starts giving me any shit in the comments about like men going out and hunting and women going out and hunting, both went out and hunt, and men and women stayed and cooked. Right? It all depended on, again, what you like doing. Some of the old day tribal systems, you had like pepper grinders and stuff. They were fucking heavy. They needed men to help with cooking, right? And some liked to cook, and some women liked to cook, and some women liked to hunt, and some men liked to hunt. And they used to go out and do their thing, right? Tribal system is pretty interesting. I've spent a lot of time trying to understand human nature, and in particular tribes. Right? And if you understand how tribes work, you can understand how the world works, how it used to work, and how we used to survive, how we survived so long before the fucking internet, right? And before we had all these shit systems. One of the biggest scams out there today is a system we were taught at the beginning of the education system 100 years ago, which is give and take. So your listeners are going to hear this and think, I help you and you help me. Sounds perfectly reasonable, right? That's right. Yeah. I'll help you, you help me. Yeah, it's kind of fair. Yeah, so we'll do a podcast together. I'll promote you, you promote me. I've got a big following, you got a big following. We'll help each other. All sounds reasonable, yeah? It's literally what's caused wars, this concept. And I think it's meant millions of people haven't got help they needed. In my personal opinion, it's caused a lot of people who are probably listening to this podcast a lot of pain without realizing it. I tell you why. In tribal times, the way we worked was, you come to me with a problem because I'm the person to help you with that problem, right? You're probably not the person to even help me with my problem, right? So I help you because I can and because I should. I help you, and then you go on to help someone else because you've got a skill they need. And then they go on to help someone else. And then one day, 2 years from now, I have a mental health issue and someone will help me. Now, taxman wants everything taxed, right? So I have to have a tradable system. If I don't charge you, there's no tax. So it shouldn't be give and take. The way we should live is give without take. And I've been living this way for the last 5 years. I tell you what, I've never been richer. I've never been happier.